What's up, everyone? Today is the day. This is our day to vote. If you have not already gone out to early vote or cast your ballot or absentee or whatever, today is the day we really get out there and we vote. I am getting reports already from NewsInMotion ambassadors all across the U.S., those who have signed up to become poll workers. I am hearing those, especially in the Eastern time zone, that people have been in line since 5 a.m. this morning. I told y'all this was the most important election of our lifetime. And I just got a text message from Kim Edmondson that said that people have been in line since 5 a.m. Y'all know she's a poll worker, so she says she'll watch the replay later. She says it is packed in there. I have some family members who went and got in line early this morning, and they said the lines were long. Y'all, people aren't playing. They're coming out to vote, and I'm really excited about that. I see you, Patricia Lyles. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. Marion Jackson, good morning to you. I see you, Kenny Stanley. I see you, Deborah Johnson. I see you, Jacqueline Rutledge. Y'all, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. I see you, Rosanna Bivens. I'm not going to be on here with you long today because y'all know this is a day that I get out and I work and I do other stuff. I'm going around to different polling locations today. Um, Hopefully, I'll get a couple of interviews. Good morning, George Sanders, this morning as well. Y'all, today is midterm election day. It is Tuesday, November the 8th, 2022. And I'm not giving you headlines today. I'm giving you some voting information. So even if you have already voted, still stay tuned because I believe this information is going to help others. I have all of my family in my favorites. So no matter if my phone's on do not disturb or not, it will automatically ring if one of my family members are coming in. So I have a niece. I won't say which one because I see some of my family on here. I have a niece who called me and said, Aunt Gail, I can vote today, right? And I said, well, are you registered? And she said, yes, ma'am. That kind of probably threw out everybody who know who this is. And I said, okay. I said, did you check your voting registration? She was like, no, ma'am. I said, well, let's do that. Now, y'all, I'm telling y'all, it is like 4:30. I'm up already, but she's like in this urgency. So as I'm walking her through to look up if all of her information is correct, she says to me, she says, is it true, such and such and such and such? And I was like, yeah, where you been? I said, that happened in June. She said, oh, I need to go vote. And I was like, girl, where you been? Why are you waiting? And I'm just trying to get all of us to stop waiting. I see you, Mike Nicholson, coming in there. What's up to you? I see you, Shirley. I see you, Lori Wallace. I see you, Dr. Antoinette. Good morning. So, y'all, it is election day. And if you have not already voted and you are a registered voter, please go vote today. Early voting across the U.S. has surpassed the levels seen 4 years ago, with more than 43 million early votes cast already as of 3 p.m. yesterday. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Roughly 20 million ballots were submitted in person, with 23 million mail ballots collected so far. And you already know they're already starting their spin because everyone knows, everyone knows early voting is usually those of the Democrats. Just want to put that out there. All right, y'all, on NBC News, let me give you this information. I don't want to do that. Let me see if I can open it. Oh, it's not going to let me open it. Let me try something else. Hold on. Y'all, I got so many different things up. I'm just trying to grab everything together. So y'all just going to have to bear with me this morning. Okay. NBC News tracking early vote, mail in and early in person votes cast. Right now, the tally, this is a regular tally that's happening, is 44,155,599. Out of that, I want y'all to hear this. Out of that, 49% of that total are Democrats, 35% are GOP, and 20% are the independent voters. Mail-in ballot requests, 46% were of the Democratic Party, 28% were the Republican Party, and many of those came from out of Florida. Remember, Florida is where you get a lot of the retirees in that area, and then 26% independent. So that's what's happening right now. If you want to stay with the tracking of early vote, and especially going into the vote today, you can just go to nbcnews.com. NBCnews.com. You'll see the decision 2022 banner that's on the top. So yeah, that's even ticking already. So it's already showing how those numbers are changing as of this morning. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of that because that is what's happening. Also with that, y'all, I misspoke. I need to correct myself. Y'all know I do this here. I don't know where I got 8 states from, but even my daughter and Kia and Jules, they were like, excuse me, ma'am, that's 21 states with plus DC. So my apologies on that. So if you are in any one of these 21 states or in the District of Columbia, you can register and vote today if you have not already done so. I believe Isaiah will have a link that will put up there as well. So here are these states: California, Colorado, Connecticut, the District of Columbia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Carolina, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. I'll give those to you again and I'll see what's in here. Dr. Antoinette said, please don't forget to share this video. And I would really suggest you do that because I'm going to give you some information that people who may be on the fence about voting will get up and vote. Thank you, Dr. Antoinette, for saying that. Facebook user line with a question mark. I have no idea what you're asking me there, so please verify what you're saying there so I can also let our audio viewers, our audio listeners, excuse me, and our podcast listeners know what you're referring to. So Facebook user who said line with a question mark, I need to know what you're talking about. Patricia Lau says go vote. Facebook user again. I don't know who these Facebook users are. So if you can tell me your name in there, that'd be great. It says, I am glad that I don't work for a newspaper anymore. Well, there's that. And then the other one says, you get no sleep from Sunday night till Wednesday afternoon. None, no sleep. Me, no sleep. So you probably are already seeing it in my eyes, no sleep, because I want to bring you the information that's going to make a difference for you. Also, y'all, to help people see that we're out here, throw up some hearts, throw up some thumbs, throw up something so that people, the algorithm can shift and people can see what I'm talking about. So again, y'all, 21 states plus the District of Columbia. Now you go into your Secretary of State's office, meaning go into the website and try to find out what's going on with your state. Like, what do you need? What kind of ID? What type of information? Do you need a bill with your address on it? Go there before you go to the polls to check that out. Please do that. Good morning, Robert Holman. I'm still waiting on the Facebook user that said line with a question mark. What were you referring to so I can answer that? Good morning, Gina Winks. Gina Winks said, good morning, go vote. Y'all, again, I cannot stress this enough. If you are starting a podcast in the middle of a podcast, wanting to do anything with podcasting, trust me, she is an audio engineer. She works with alongside me. She's amazing. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. If she hears just ruffling of some papers, let's erase this out of here. She was like, well, I don't know if we can use this, Gail. This one isn't coming through real good. She is amazing. She is perfect. Okay, that was Mike Nicholson. But Mike Nicholson, what did you mean by saying line and a question mark? Please tell me what that is. Line was for Latrice because we have no line when we vote. I got you. Okay, thank you. Good morning, David. Good morning to you. Thank you so much. I pride myself on bringing detailed information. I really do. All right, y'all, let me give y'all these 21 states again and the District of Columbia, which means if you're like, oh man, I wish I would have registered to vote, you can if you're in one of these 21 states in the District of Columbia: California, Colorado, Connecticut, the District of Columbia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Carolina, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Again, you need to check with them, check with your Secretary of State's office and find out what you need to go there and register to vote and vote. Okay, so we have that. Now, y'all, I need to share this with y'all because we pull these numbers, or they pull them. I don't. They pull these numbers and I see different things. And I was really shocked about this. And I wanted to share this with our viewers here today. Y'all, News in Motion has shared since September the 7th, when we came back from our break, 166 articles and educational pieces on voting. Y'all, that just when I saw that yesterday, I said, "Are you serious?" And they do an Excel sheet and they show everything. So 166 articles and educational pieces on voting. And on top of that, y'all, we've been very fair and balanced. We've been very now we can go the other way every now and then, but we've been very fair and balanced. I see you, Fred Jones. I see you. Fred Jones says, "Good morning. Get out and vote if you haven't already done so." Y'all, News in Motion has shared since January 2022, when I started talking about the midterm, slowly walking us up to that September date. 819 articles and educational pieces on voting. 819 articles and educational pieces on voting. So again, that reminded me to share that, David. So thank you for your post that you put in there. All right, y'all, now it's all in your hands. But first, let me give you some information. Again, we're not going to be on here long because I got to get out there and do some work, and I'm sure some of you do as well. First of all, to all of our News in Motion ambassadors and to all of our News in Motion viewers or listeners who made the decision to sign up to work at the polls today, the election polls, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your civic duty. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And we will be praying for you. We pray that there's nothing pops off, nothing is out of whack, there's no chaos. We pray your energy. We pray that when you have your breaks today, I think you get two of them, maybe three. When you have your breaks today, that you will be refueled, and that people will be kind to you. Just like in the Bible, y'all know I'm a follower of Jesus, so I'm going to say it this morning. I'm asking as the chief servant in the book of Genesis prayed for Abraham before he went to go find his son a wife. He says, "Lord, show kindness to my servant." So I'm asking the Lord to show you all kindness today. I really want God to show you all kindness today, and that you only deal with people who will be kind to you. So y'all, Michael Moore has talked about a midterm tsunami over the last couple of months on his Instagram and on his blog. If you don't know Michael Moore, I would strongly encourage you to look him up. He's done some amazing documentaries. Now he gives a truth. He gives like each day a truth and then the number one by one. He started this thread on September the 27th. So I wanted to pull out truth number 13 that he posted, and he stated the following. I wanted y'all to know this. There are 6 million more women in the U.S. than men. And then he goes on and breaks that down. There are more women who voted than men. 63% of eligible women vote. Only 59% of eligible men vote. And then he goes on to say, when women vote, 56% of them vote for Democrats over the 38% that vote for Republicans. He broke it down even more and said, among 33 states and territories who let you affiliate with the party when you register to vote, there are currently 48 million registered Democrats versus 36.4 million registered Republicans. Again, this information is coming from Michael Moore, who does all of his research. I follow him because his research is so detailed. He did a training, oh gosh, it might have been 4 or 5 years ago, that really got me into looking at. I'm not a poll watcher, meaning I don't look at the polls and say, oh, we're behind, or oh, they're ahead, or oh, the independents are this, that, and the other. He was teaching in that, I guess it was a master class, that you have to understand and really research the pulse of your community and the pulse of the people that you're around. And from there, you build your research. He didn't tell us how to research per se, but he was just telling us what to look at in that gut feeling, and to look at the articles, and to look at this, that, and the other. And I owe a lot of thanks to him, as well as I've been building my work over the years. So with that, with those numbers, I want to just tell y'all what's on the ballot. We got to do this one last time, right? I see you, Regina Shorts. Marion said, I passed my polling location. The parking lot was full. Jacqueline said, that's really good news. Dr. Antoinette said, taking dinner to my bishop who is working the polls. Hey, make sure he's fed. Make sure he's fed. And I see more people who are coming in as well. So thank you for that. All right, y'all. So what's on the ballot? I have several things. I'm going to break this down. I promise you, I'm not going to be before you long. Democracy is on the ballot. We all need to know that. Democracy is on the ballot. Diversity is on the ballot. Seniors are on the ballot. Guns are on the ballot. Gun control is on the ballot. Voting rights are on the ballot. Election laws are on the ballot. Election deniers are on the ballot. And they've already started. This is coming straight out of HuffPost. Republicans are laying the groundwork again to reject elections they lose. Republican candidates who have pushed Donald Trump's lies about voter fraud are using the former president's playbook themselves to claim that their election may be fraudulent. Some of them started coming out with that last night, saying that they should not be behind in the polls, and they're seeing that they are. So there's fraudulent activity at the polls, y'all. We got to shut that down. This is on the ballot. We don't want to hear this every time there's a vote that's going on. We need to shut this down right now. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. Dr. Antoinette says sore losers. Now, the Blake Masters, the GOP candidate running for the U.S. Senate seat in Arizona, competing against Democrat Mark Kelly, said there's always cheating, and he's cheating. How can he be cheating? He's not in control of anything that's there. So, y'all, this is on the ballot. Again, I say democracy is on the ballot. I want to go back to my niece who called me this morning, and I shared with her, I said, now I know I see you pop in on NewsInMotion. You haven't heard me say any of these things. She said, yes, ma'am, I hear you. She says, but I just didn't think it was serious. And I said, what about election isn't serious? I said, even if there was nothing going on, it's your civic duty to use your voice and vote. And she says, well, yes, ma'am, and I'm going right now. So I'm sure she went. She said she's going to take a picture and send me. But here's the thing, and I shared with her. I said, as we're checking your registration, which she's fine, I said, I check this every month. I said, now the past, up until I was voting, I was checking it almost every day. I said, you need to check these things out. And she asked me, she says, well, Aunt Gail, how can I get more involved? And I said, become a NewsInMotion ambassador. Just get into it to see what's happening. I said, there has to be a heartbeat, a pulse of the news of what's happening all around. And speaking of that, I want those of you who may be interested in writing legislation, I don't want to hear that the former guy is getting ready to announce on November the 14th that he's running for 2024 election. I don't want to hear anything about election after tomorrow. I don't want to hear anything about it. Nothing about it. Not unless there's a runoff or something that we need to talk about. And I am wanting to write legislation to say, after an election, there should be nothing, no commercials, nothing, no emails. Don't ask me for $1 for at least 90 days. At least 90 days. I really would prefer 6 months. So if any of you are willing to jump on with me and we write this legislation, we write this, we got to put it together, then pitch the legislation, go before Congress. Come on, y'all, we should do this because I need somebody to adopt this. Hello, Joyce Beatty, can you adopt this? I need somebody to adopt this. I don't want to keep hearing this. And I think we're exhausted behind it. And then I think that's why some people decide they just don't want to vote. Misha said, yes, leave me in my inbox alone. Especially after you voted, it should stop. And some of the work I was doing along with Pastor Derek Holmes, once we saw the person, but their name came off the list, I received yesterday, 19 text messages. I'm like, if y'all don't leave me alone, please. All right, y'all, who else is on the ballot? Women are on the ballot. Human rights are on the ballot. Student loan debt relief is on the ballot. Healthcare is on the ballot. Insulin is on the ballot. Yes, Joe Nicholson just read that one. Insulin is on the ballot. Impeachments are on the ballot. I already told y'all that GOP members in the House who are currently in the House are stating that the moment the election is over, that they will begin to submit their proposals for impeachment of President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, the Secretary of State, and the Attorney General. Just letting y'all know, this is on the ballot. Supreme Court is on the ballot. MAGA is on the ballot. Inflation and economy are on the ballot. Let me just give y'all this, y'all. This is coming from Quasem Rashid, who's an attorney. He said he did some research. Chipotle, 26% profit increase. They are raising prices. Starbucks, 31% profit increase. They are raising prices. McDonald's, 59% profit increase. Who's eating at McDonald's? Raising prices. Shell, Mobil, and BP, 60% profit increase, and they are raising prices. He says there's not a labor shortage. This isn't about inflation. He said this is 100% corporate greed. Y'all, this is on the ballot. Y'all, climate crisis is on the ballot. Minimum wage, paid family leave, legal marijuana, unions are all on the ballot. Medicare for all are on the ballot. Equal rights amendment for women is on the ballot. Mass incarceration on the ballot. Taxing the rich on the ballot. Free college on the ballot. Voter suppression is on the ballot. Latrice Jones says, all done, y'all. Them issues ain't no joke. Please read them carefully. Please read them carefully. I cannot stress that. Make sure there's not that powerful word there that says or in the middle, OR. Check it, read it. Go to ballotpedia.org. Isaiah, if you can put that up, and if somebody can put that in the chat, ballotpedia.org. You can look at that for same-day registration. You can also just go to ballotpedia.org without the rest of that, and put in the issue in the search bar. Put in your state, your city, your issue, your county in the search bar. It'll tell you, it'll break down. Don't just read first paragraph. Read it all the way to the bottom. Do your research before you leave to go vote. It's so important. LGBTQ plus rights, they are on the ballot. With that, y'all, I need you to go vote. Also, check and see if anybody needs a ride today. I know there's a lot of public transportation right here in Central Ohio. The CODA bus will take you to your polling location free ride. So check and see that. If you know of anyone who's doing free rides wherever throughout the U.S., please post that in the chat. If you post it in the chat, y'all just go back to the chat and check it out. Those of you who are listening by audio or podcast, come to the NewsInMotion page on Facebook, check the chat to see what's happening there. Now, let me give you this, because I hear that y'all really enjoyed this list. I want to give this to you because lines are long so far already today. Have your ID. Check with your Secretary of State to see exactly what you need. Have your ID. Have any kind of medication that you need. Y'all have something to read. The lines are long. 100% charged phone. So if your phone isn't charged now, go ahead and plug it in. Go ahead and get your shower. By the time you get out the shower, it should have some juice. Have your portable charger plugged in too, so you can have that, your portable battery. Have bottled water, 1 or 2. Don't forget, y'all, places like Georgia, don't you grab somebody that's handing you a bottle of water. It's a setup. People have already been tricked in Georgia. Do not take the water. Don't take the water. Have your own. What'd you say, Dr. Antoinette? She said, BYOW, bring your own water. Fruit, crackers. Facebook uses who's shopping that long? Well, you know, they can get at least a little bit of juice. I'm sure that was Mike Nicholson. Fruit, crackers, insulin, protein bars, sunglasses. It's supposed to be a beautiful day today all over. A chair to sit in. Those of you who have walkers, see if you have a walker that can turn into a seat. There's also some locations that have a different line for you, so you don't have to be out there. Yes, Dr. Antoinette, no tuna, no mayo, no eggs. It's too hot outside for that. If it was 30 degrees, I would say you okay. You're not okay today. Have your sandwich, have your comfortable shoes. And I hate to call out the women, but women, seriously, y'all, leggings, no tights. There is a difference. There's a difference. Dr. Antoinette said pants, no tights. And y'all have lots of patience. Do not leave the line. The other thing I want to stress to all of you before we sign off this morning, I'll do a quick inspirational message. The other thing I want to say to you before we sign off today, if you get there and you're in line before that time change, before that 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., whatever, wherever you are, whatever your polling location is, don't leave the line. You have every right to stay in line. And even if you don't get in the door until after the time has ended, they usually come to the back and give you a stick or something to hold, or take a picture of you to say this is the last person. Listen, don't be this person that take the poll and pass it back, because they know that they gave the poll to you. So just hold on to it. Somebody say, hey, can you pass it back? Say, nope, they took my picture, whatever. Do not pass that back, because you won't get to vote either, because they will say you were cheating. Okay, so please, 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 please deal with that. Other thing, keep calling your people. Remind them that today is the day to go vote. Remind them that today is the day to go vote. It's important to have these numbers. The Election Protection Hotline, 1-866-R-VOTE, 1-866-R-VOTE. And for Spanish, is 1-800-VEY-VOTA. Again, 1-800-VE as in Edward, Y, V as in Victor, OTA as in Apple. The U.S. Department of Justice Voting Rights, it is 800-253-3931. Again, that's 800-253-3931. And the TTY line is 877-267-8971. Again, TTY line 877-267-8971. With that, here's my inspirational message. Find something within yourself, if you are a registered voter, to say, I need to share my voice. Your voice is important. If your voice wasn't important, if your mind wasn't important, God wouldn't have given those things to you. He wouldn't have. Even if you use your voice as sign language, if you may not have a spoken word, but you can sign, that's still a voice. And that's yours for you to use to go out here and make a difference. I will never tell you here how to vote. I will never tell you how to vote, but I will encourage you to vote. It is essential that you do it. It really is. One last thing, y'all, and I'm just wanting to give a shout out to Kenny Stanley, to Deborah Johnson, who's the co-host, to Isaiah, to Christina, to Dominic and Kia and Jules and Howard. I'm missing somebody. I'm missing Lexi. To all of you, just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you have been doing. Y'all did this. 166 articles and educational pieces on voting since September the 7th. Since January 2022, 819 articles and educational pieces on voting. I could never do this without you. Now, y'all, it's time for us. If you haven't already voted, I believe all the millennials have voted. Isaiah, I think, is going today. Lexi is not of age yet to vote, but even the high school students, I hear that there's some of you tuning in today. Even the high school students, make sure your siblings, your parents, your aunties, uncles, your teachers, administrators, whomever, have already gone out to vote. If not, make sure they do it today. We all have work to do. It is not over until every vote has been counted. We will also say this: count every vote. All right, y'all, let's get this done. I'm Gail Dudley. Stay well, and remember, make some bold moves. Pray for me too. Please pray for me, because I'll be up all day and all night to bring you whatever results you may not have caught. We'll catch later on today. So I'm out.
NewsInMotion.